Hey, hello again, everyone. This is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. Hey, how's everybody doing on this Monday morning? Yeah. Welcome to Activity Monday. I'm going to talk about a couple of ideas regarding this, but first, I want to send a shout out of thanks to Sharon Jackson for uncovering that mystery pie recipe. Remember yesterday I was baffled trying to find that pie recipe, and it turns out that Erica Stout was the original creator of the recipe, and she had posted it a few days back. So sometimes certain comments could be like finding a needle in a haystack for me, because after a while, well, it starts looking like a needle in a haystack. Anyway, but the actual recipe, let me get it. The actual recipe is for peanut butter cheesecake, and basically you need 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 8-ounce pack of cream cheese, and you got to leave that at room temperature. You're going to mix that well. In addition to that, you're going to fold in some room temperature Cool Whip. You're going to take that whole delightful mixture and put it into a cookie crust or a pre-made graham cracker crust, or the one that you can make by yourself. All I know is that it smells like yum to me at the end of the day. Am I right? Or am I right? Okay, so when we get back, we're going to talk about activity, and we're going to talk about stockpiling. Uh-oh. Be right back. Thanks so much for sticking around. And by the way, just wondering, if you're not feeling so good today, have a little chicken soup on me. Hopefully you have some already made in a can or in your freezer, and that's a good idea when thinking of stockpile. But we'll go back to that in a minute. Okay, today's Activity Monday, and I did a little research because I was thinking I would love to see before and after pictures of people's hair, especially the ones that are kind of like confined or they can't get to a local beauty salon or whatever. I've been cutting my own hair for a long time, so for me, I don't care. But for the person that has always gone to the stylist every, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks, this must be like shell shock for you or whatever. I just want to remind you to take heart, because on this platform, you could find a plethora of videos. I found one for guys specifically, and then another one for females. Okay, this one is home haircut tutorial, and it's for guys. I'm going to link it up in my description box below, because I think that it's a professional is showing how he helps another person cut their hair. So you're watching professional instruction there. So I'm not saying you have to go and do this, okay? But you may want to at least view the video just for entertainment value, if not for anything else, or just even to learn something. Or if you're daring enough to even try it. Now, don't say I recommended it. All I'm saying is you may want to be interested in viewing it. There you go. And for anyone that's squeamish about coloring their own hair at home, can I tell you a secret? I have never colored my hair outside of my home. I have always done it myself. Why? Because it's not a big deal. To me, it's not a big deal. Now, I'm not saying that's going to come out as great as when you go to the pros. I'm not saying. But the reason why I don't do it isn't just because of money. The reason why I don't do it is because I have certain allergies. And I like to test my product at home first and know that I'm good to go. Why should I pay somebody a lot of money to find out I'm allergic to something? So in my case, it really means that I really should just test it at home first. And I know the product that works well for me, and it happens to be cost effective. However, I have not been coloring my hair for a little while, and I think I'm just trying to get used to that Lily Munster. Anybody who's been following me for a long time knows exactly what I'm talking about. Lily Munster keeps coming back to rear its streak. Now, I'm not saying it's such a bad thing. It's not the end of the world. I mean, it's not like, nuclear war. It's just a little piece of strand of gray. I will learn to make peace with it. Well, I'm trying anyway. But anyway, that second video is called Secrets from a Hairstylist on How to Dye Your Hair at Home. And that is for the faint of heart when it comes to hair coloring. Just saying. Hey, question of the day. Have you ever cut your hair at home? Have you been forced to cut your hair at home because of the changes going on temporarily? Are you upset about it? Are you at peace with it? Have you always cut your hair at home? How about coloring your hair? Let me know. I'm kind of nosy about this. And I'd love to share those comments in the future on a future Your Word show coming up at the end of the week. Just saying, just saying. Okay, when I get back, I want to talk about what you see in the picture there. You probably wonder, what is that on the upper right-hand corner? Believe it or not, it's bread pudding. And yeah, I made it. And yeah, without staring at a recipe. We'll talk about that in a minute. Hey, thanks so much for sticking around. You know, I was talking about never wasting bread, and it occurred to me I didn't have anything like kind of sort of sweet going on for like a week, and I said, it's Sunday. I want to make a little bit of a treat, but this sweet was like only about a tablespoon worth of sugar. Oh, yeah. Except, of course, for the carbs that are in bread. But I had some stale pieces of bread. It was whole wheat bread. I also incorporated a piece of oat bread. So what I did was, it was frozen. So I cubed them up, okay? And then I just did this all spontaneously. I made like an egg custard, like similar to the one that you use for French toast. And I let that soak together. And what I did was, I had a whole bunch of apples. So and they were great. Washed them thoroughly. I kept the skin on. I wanted the nutrition from the skins and didn't want anything to go to waste. So I sliced up the apples. So I'm slicing and dicing, and I'm thinking of you guys. I says, I need to show this in the picture, today for the talking about, that's another activity you could consider. This did not require any really brain power. I just put it together. I soaked the whole thing together in an 8x8. I did, you have to grease it well, though. That you have to do. Now, some people put tons and tons of butter in their bread pudding. I didn't. I just greased it I had margarine, and because I ran out of, nonstick spray. And margarine actually works quite well when it comes to baking. When it comes to baking, margarine is your really El Cheapo ticket. So to that, I had added, some milk. I eyeballed it. Everything was eyeballed. And to give it a creamier taste, you're not going to believe this, I had also added, it was heated up water and diluted the coffee creamer that I love to use, incorporated in recipes, which people forget to use, the non-dairy creamer. So I made like about a cup of that. And I added, half a cup. Everything was eyeball. So it was regular milk and the creamer and the apples. And I only used literally, one egg, 1 or 2 eggs. What was it? They were small. So it was 2 eggs, a cinnamon, and about a tablespoon of sugar, granulated sugar, and a whole bunch of cinnamon. I threw that whole mixture together. I let it soak up a little bit, threw it in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes. I took it out, and voila, it was all done. It was delicious. It was really, really good. So that's sort of like a semi-bad treat, but it was pretty healthy with the oat bread and the whole wheat. I like to get like healthier versions in things that, people traditionally love. So you could swap things out, and it didn't take brain power. It's a really nice idea for a Sunday morning or afternoon treat, because you could have it warm, and you could have it chilled. So there you go. Okay, so let's talk about stockpiling when we get back, or lack thereof. Yeah. I'll be right back. Hey, thanks so much for sticking around. As you know, I really do appreciate your time. We're here to help each other. I might be the voice on this video, but that doesn't mean I'm a know-it-all. I am not the have-all, be-all, know-it-all of life. No. Everyone in this world is a teacher. People used to say, how does it feel to be a teacher? I said, well, it's nice to go and help kids and everything, but everyone is a teacher. We all teach each other. We all learn from each other. And I'm going to tell you something. Up until very recently, okay, ever hear of true confessions? Well, up until very recently, I would have considered my stockpile never to be beyond, let's say, about 2 to 3 weeks. Now, part of it is because it is a New Yorker's mentality, specifically a Manhattanite's mentality. Because our mentality is, well, you just go, not so far for this and you grab it. You go not so far for that and you grab it. But then you didn't realize that like bigger things than were even imaginable. And we've lived through a couple of big things. And I'm grateful that I was well stocked during Superstorm Sandy. I prepared for that and was able to pay it forward and help others. You learn from things. But then, time goes by and, you end up going back to your old ways. Now, I watch a lot of videos from some really, really smart people, and they always say, I'll get started on it. I always have a somewhat stockpile. Let's call it a baby stockpile, okay? But I have learned my lesson that it's time to grow up from toddlerhood and get ready for the big leagues like grammar school when it comes to stockpiling. It's a better feeling. Not that I really truly believe that things can run out. I just don't believe that. But there may be situations that prevent you from getting to your source. That where it's better to just shop your pantry than to always rely on getting to that store. What if you can't get to the store? What if you can't get any friends to get you to the store because they have their own troubles? And then when you reach a certain age, like when you start realizing like you're over a certain age, Jana, like anyway, I'm not saying that I'm confined to a wheelchair, and even people in wheelchairs are more genius than I could ever be. But the thing is, we have to always be ready to be ready. And that's the lesson that I take up. So I'm beginning to consider, a more serious stockpile. And thank you, everybody, for your ideas about what you have in your stockpile. And I totally agree with every single thing that I have seen. Now, here's the problem when you live in a city. Storage. Okay, so that's where I have another question for you. Anybody out there who has a tight space, doesn't matter where you live, but if you're living in tight space, where do you put your stockpile? Now we're talking about location. The other day we were talking about items. Now we're talking about location. And I want to also formulate these answers for a future Your Word That I Heard show. So that's another reason. But seriously, I am dying to know how creative you guys are. Somebody said that no area is uncovered or something to that effect. Everything's fair game. I think that person is 100% right. Well, anyway, that's it for today, for today's Activity Monday. Thank you so much for listening. Why? Because I really do appreciate whose time your time. Come back tomorrow for the Tuesday Practical Video Show. I look forward to it, and I hope that you do too. Hey, don't forget to share a smile. Remember, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is real life. So if you can make someone smile today, do it. If you messed up something, fix it. You could always do that. Always get it right. And you know who to get it right with first. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Have a great day. Going to wrap it up with a little music. Have a great day, everybody.